OpTic Gaming going toe-to-toe with Red Reserve on our main stage. Of course, if you are a European fan, feel free to tune into the Bravo stream where Splice are going toe-to-toe with Ground Zero. Also, another winner's bracket round 1 matchup elsewhere in the tournament. Of course, FaZe are going up against Unilad. We'll bring you all of that action as we get the results. And Envy versus Next Threat on the Delta station. As I said, so much Call of Duty World War II action right here live from Championship Sunday at the CWL Dallas Open presented by PlayStation 4, but now it's time for OpTic Gaming versus Red Reserve.
Jack, it sounds like Dallas is ready, but might want to double check.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for OpTic Gaming versus Red Reserve? Oh yeah, this place is waking up now. Doors wide open, everyone flooding into the arena off the break. We're watching Scump from OpTic Gaming, the SMG pressure as you expect on London docks, but it's funny, he actually gets taken down by Zero right off the break, Rich. He's one of the standout players from last year, our Stage 1 MVP in the Call of Duty World League back in that LAN league.
Yeah, we're going to see some great pressure coming out from Red Reserve to start things off. They do get that first blood, and they get solid control here on mid-map for that first hill, but it looks like it will be broken up just like that. Rated, able to pick up a big kill, but Formal brings him down just in the nick of time, but Red Reserve getting points here left and right.
Yeah, and that's a nice little start for Red Reserve. I will say, OpTic, they get that spawn for the new hill. In the bottom right of your minimap, that's the key area you want to lock down. You will not see any of these green arrows pushed up past kind of that 50-yard line if you can make one right in the middle of that minimap. No one's going further or else they'll flip the spawns. Right now, OG, yes, they only got 4 seconds on the first hill, but in their head, Rich, they want the full 60 here.
That is the big deal, and you can see Formal staying very far back. He is going to be inside of this gunfight here, and that is going to be a big kill as well. A potential to flip out the spawns, but Scump going to make sure that that doesn't happen as OpTic Gaming gets on over to Main Street.
Yeah, nice job by Scump right there. That's an example where Scump calls out to his teammate, you know, watch the kill cam, watch the kill cam. If he watches that kill cam and waits for Scump to get that kill, it will free up that spawn in the bottom right, as we just saw, giving OpTic Gaming the opportunity to stay in control of the hard point. They have just taken the lead, 31-28, as they look to continue to pull away.
Yeah, and you mentioned how much they really do stress that time over on Main Street. Only 24 seconds going to be remaining here at this point. Just how important is that next hill really going to be?
Well, look, already Red Reserve have given up the rest of the time. OpTic know this. They're going to send 3 towards the new hill already. Thankfully, if you are a Red Reserve fan, you've got Rated inside the new hardpoint. You've got Zero playing from the water stairs with this AR. They're set up for this push. OpTic Gaming, they'll get the full 60 on that last hill from 4 seconds all the way up to 58. A great recovery from a slow start.
And this is going to be huge for Red Reserve as well. I mean, we've seen them look really impressive inside of the hard points. If they're able to steal one of these respawns and show up the way that we think that they can inside of the SND, that is the recipe for success. But sometimes it is going to be difficult to beat Crim6. He's going to get that team kill, but he picks up a big one there as well. But Red going to be able to hold on inside of this hill, picking up some massive time.
Look at Formal right now, the number 4 on the minimap. He spawned at where the new hardpoint's going to be. He's trying to pinch this hill. This could be the key to success now for OpTic Gaming as they try to break on through for the first time on this hardpoint. Scump challenges, Scump with the kill. And now OpTic Gaming in control for the final 20 seconds.
And these 20 seconds are going to be big. That's going to lock down their lead, start to inch ahead once again. Zero was starting to heat up on the side of Red Reserve, but OpTic Gaming find him just in time. Zero, though, once again off the respawn, able to find Scump.
Look at the slang right now, Rich. Dead even between these two teams. You see as well, Zero in a position with this AR. You're going to see throughout this series, him versus Formal in a lot of these gun engagements for these spawns in the back map, Rated as well. Going to try to shut down one of the best AR players in the game in Formal, our COD Champs MVP last year in IW. Scump, though, in the hard point, a nice little 2-piece there. As teams are really fighting for these spawns still, it's Crim6 trying to push through this coal side, but he's unfortunately traded out.
Yeah, but now, just like this, OpTic does start to get some of these really important kills. They start to catch up a little bit in the slaying, and you can see Formal here going to be able to find Zero. Now we are on board with Joe, though, still inside of Beer. Sends a few straight through those barrels, looking to wall bang, and he's already got these streaks to work with as well. He still is going to have them after he is cut down. It's going to be by Formal. Formal able to find a nice 2-piece there.
Only a couple kills right there from Joe on that streak to wind up earning his score streaks. The key thing is that the hill is juggled a few times. You know, you had Scump go in, get a kill, bounce on out. He then stepped in, got that time. That's called juggling the hard point back and forth. You get 100 points for every time you hop on in, and that adds up quick when you're going towards that fighter pilot, which only costs 625.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot in some of these hard points throughout the entirety of this weekend. You know, you get 3 in a row, and you're able to juggle them very efficiently, and all of a sudden you have these score streaks, which are just going to change the tides over and over again, just like this. Red Reserve starting to light up this kill feed.
Rich, they're getting the spawns, they're matching the slang of OpTic Gaming. It's the way you have a chance to beat this team in one of their strongest game modes. As we saw, Respawn this weekend has been lights out for OpTic Gaming. S&D has been their weak point. Right now, Red Reserve looking like a championship caliber team here in map 1.
Yeah, and they've pulled back ahead inside of this one as well. They got 100, they cracked that 100-point mark, about to crack 115 as well. And yet,
nice job!
Get that 3-piece as well, and he is still standing, working towards those streaks. 18 and 13, that's 4 for Joe. Joe, too, I mean, you know, they had a rough go. That's the reason they are up against OpTic Gaming. That TK match, really rough for them. Joe kind of tilted off the face of the earth there, now starting to come alive.
We know Joe is someone that definitely does tilt easily in his gameplay. Right now, though, not showing as they built up a 30-second lead over, well, the world's best Call of Duty team with that COD Champs title from last year. This is the best OG have looked, though, on the statue hardpoint so far. They've got the setup they want. Pressure inside Fire from Crim6, pressure inside Beer, which was Scump. Unfortunately, Scump is naded on out alongside Formal as Red Reserve look to collapse on the hardpoint.
It's going to be Joe as well. It's starting to be the battle of gingers over here, and I'm not talking about Benson.
Oh, that one got spicy real quick as full streaks are earned by Crim6. 7 streak from him. Crim has had a few instances this weekend. We saw the 11 streak yesterday. He's been someone that has absolutely impressed me so far this weekend. You know, we would joke in the last couple of years where an MVP type vote would go out and Crim would tweet himself, you know, he'd have 8% in the vote, even though he's the winningest player in Call of Duty history. Now, though, I feel like that's going to change for Green Wall fans off the performance we've seen so far this weekend, if they win the title.
Jumping on board with Crim6, and yeah, that's the big thing. If they can do it here, they're starting to build that dynasty. It's still somewhat of a question for some people. Are they the best Call of Duty dynasty of all time? If they're able to show up in World War II, that's not even going to be a question anymore. It's just going to be a fact. But Red Reserve giving them a huge run for their money here, as we do have 30 seconds remaining on Main Street. Red Reserve gonna be up here by about 30 seconds.
Streak gets called on in. Thankfully, Formal is able to pin Joe for these spawns, but you know, either way, OpTic Gaming have not been able to break on through here. It's a great job by Zero holding that cross to the hard point. That then lets Joe, who's currently in the hill, just hold that position of cover where only his head can be seen. Watching over that wooden box, that's free engagement victories. Red Reserve, a flawless hold there. Now at their largest lead of the game, 60 seconds. This is a must-hold for OpTic Gaming here. They cannot let Red break this easily.
Yeah, we are going to go over to that rotation as well. And like you said, OpTic going to try to get there nice and early. Trying to break through is going to be Joe. Formal does put him in his place. This is OpTic's chance to get back on that score.
Oh, no.
Try to go head-to-head with Red, but Joe is an absolute menace.
Karma, nice 2-piece there to relieve some of the pressure. Here comes the flood, though, from Red Reserve. Scump with 1, can't chain together the second. It's all red in the kill feed. Can Karma stay alive, though? He knows he's getting pinched. He's got to buy time. Unfortunately, though, Rated gets behind cover, and that's a great break for Red Reserve as they look to eclipse the 200-second mark.
Yeah, they can crack that 200 mark here just inside of Warehouse. Scump gonna find a kill onto Josh. He's still hanging out just outside this hard point. Is going to be contesting it at the moment. Is taken out by Red Reserve. Guys in the red shorts here going to try to hit that 200 mark. They should be able to do it without a problem. But this scrap time is going to affect how well they can rotate on over to the next hill.
Can we possibly just swap back to Zero here quite quickly as he begins this rotation? Where does he elect to go? Look at how close he is to streaks. 1 kill off of earning 2 streaks, a couple off of the artillery. He's going to fight for these spawns, but yeah, look at how passively he's playing. He wants these streaks more than anything. They've got a 1-minute lead. He knows how important score streaks can be in boots on the ground Call of Duty, and there he'll go ahead and earn them as Forward peeks that corner. Love that play from Zero. Patient, he's waiting for his team, and now you know what? He's going to go ahead and push on forward.
As well, and now he's going to be able to pick up a few easy points here as well. Going to get 25 for that kill with his streaks, getting some huge momentum here, and should be able to just lock down the map with those score streaks.
This is the game for me right here. If OpTic Gaming can break on through, get this scrap time, which could be a 30 to 40 second swing, because look, they're still flooding from Red Reserve. OpTic still fighting for every second they can. Formal with the kill. Now the key engagements come on the bottom side of the map. It's Scump trying to go big for the spawns. Unfortunately, everyone there for Red Reserve. Red, they're set up. They've got a couple streaks to use. They've got the next hard point in control now. These next few gunfights are going to be key for their victory.
It was huge that they were able to take down Scump, but now they have to take down Karma and Crim6. Red Reserve got to be able to do that. They take down Formal as well. Joe is an absolute menace. Finds both Scump and Formal. Now it's going to be Zero taking down Karma. Red Reserve trying to do it on this hill, trying to do it on Crane, trying to take down the green wall inside of World War II.
Joe is not stopping with the pressure on OpTic Gaming. They have one final push. Zero cuts one down. The challenge, though, Karma's able to get two. Will OpTic Gaming get there in time? They get the close spawn. They may live to see another hill. It looks like it, but Red Reserve are now just 10 seconds away from what many would regard as an upset here on map 1.
I think many would definitely regard it as an upset, and one of the big things Revan said before we even jumped into this map, if Red Reserve can come in and steal a respawn, they may be able to take this series. And going into the S&D, all eyes are going to be on Red Reserve. It's been OpTic's chink in their armor.
That's key, though. Red Reserve actually get the last 4 seconds of scrap time there, too, so inching closer and closer. You know, we talked about this yesterday, where if the team's at, 235, 236, you have enough time where even if you have to rotate from one hill to the other, 14 seconds at least gives you one push. 6 seconds means OpTic needs to be flawless. It's 244 to 198. Crim with 3, but still Red tick on 2 more seconds on the clock. They are so close. If OpTic Gaming want to come back here, they need to play perfect Call of Duty.
Crim6, 31 and 24 at the moment. Going to be looking for more as well. It is going to be an attempted break, but OpTic going to be able to stave off Red Reserve. Will they be able to do it a little bit longer? We have scrap time here on Statue, about 15 seconds left.
OpTic need to stay here, stay in control of this hard point. They've got the for the new hill lockdown. Looking at the mini-map right now, this is possible, but no, they're giving up the mid-hard point, and that's what I'm talking about. That right there is the key. Red Reserve take map number 1 in the upset over OpTic Gaming as they push for the last bit of scrap time to get the win.
This is absolutely huge.
It looked almost as if OpTic Gaming was about to do the unthinkable. Down over 50 points, almost clawed their way back in game 1, but it's Red Reserve that stay strong. Now the question, can they stay consistent in this series? Revan, we look at that map, Joe just had probably one of the greatest series he's ever had online.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Joe, you're definitely feeling yourself a little bit right now. The thing is, like, Joe plays that lurker type of style of play for Red Reserve, and what that does is every time OpTic Gaming is setting up to push into the hard point, along comes Joe, shooting them in the back, shooting them in the side, so they were never allowed to feel, like, super comfortable on the map because Joe's finding so much success.
And it's so key right there that they get those last 4 seconds at that Crane hard point because there's only 6 seconds remaining on that middle hill. If they're still at 240, they only get to 246, and OpTic are locked down for the new hard point. Here you can see the breakdown, man. Red Reserve win on, well, the last 3 hills of each rotation. 30-second difference on Crane.
But Rich, you look at that box score, it was still unbelievably close.
Oh, it really was. You talk about Joe really coming alive for Red Reserve. Crim6 is able to do so much for OpTic Gaming, and we saw those streaks there as well in the later portions of the game. And if they were able to hold that hill just a little bit longer, prevent those last seconds coming in for Red Reserve, Crim very easily could have ran away with that one for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, you thought for a second there the streaks that Crim earns would be the propellant for OpTic Gaming to take the win in that game, but it's not like anyone on OpTic played bad that map, right? They were all, pretty close when it comes to the kills. It's just these select few engagements that Red Reserve win, a couple points here and there in the hard point wind up being the difference in that map.
Just want to quickly give you an update. This is the game on Delta. So if Championship Sunday is full of upsets already, Evil Genius is out top 20. Guess what? Next threat could be sending Team Envious home. Of course, this is a loser's bracket matchup. And as you can see, 5-0 Nagafen. It was a 1v3 situation. 15 seconds left. Surely he doesn't find the 1v2 clutch.
And I know next threat came out of open bracket. Remember, this is a best of 5, so they do still need to wind up winning
I tell you what, Nagafen, Temp, 1v1. Time ticking. Bomb of course planted. Temp finds him. Temp shoots. Can Temp find the killer? That's a question! Nagafen! Are you serious?
Nagafen able to do it!
Pops up off the bomb, says, nah, fam, we'll see you later. 6-0 S&D. He still has it. He doesn't need a jetpack.
I have said it so many times throughout this weekend when actually looking at this team. I spent a lot of my time this weekend over at the open bracket. The question is Nagafen shredding? If he is, that team wins every time. Someone else on the team can be dropping double negative, not singling anyone out in particular, but Nagafen, if he is able to come alive, he does so much for the squad. Pretty much every time he goes off, we see a victory for them.
A lot of people like to joke in basketball that Hoodied Metal is one of the best players of all time. Sleeveless Doug Sensor Martin, one of the best players of all time. I don't want to play that guy on Championship Sunday.
I mean, you go back to what, AW Columbus Open, Jack? I mean, this was a guy who just all of a sudden got into a swing of things, got into momentum, and now you have Next Threat, who could be causing a massive, massive upset. We'll keep you updated with how all things go. As I said, so many matches here on Championship Sunday. It's going to be an absolute delight. Probably one of the better Championship Sundays we've ever had in Call of Duty Esports. But in terms of our game on the Alpha main stage, of course, OpTic Gaming versus Red Reserve. If you're tuning in, yes, that graphic is in fact correct. Red Reserve give OpTic Gaming one of their first L's in Hardpoint here at the CWL Dallas Open, presented by PlayStation 4. Now, however, the question: can Red Reserve manage to exploit the weakness of OpTic Gaming here at the event? Can they manage to put themselves 2-0 up and win a search and destroy? All pressure now back on OpTic Gaming. Once again, they find themselves 1-0 down in the series. For Europe, this could be a big, big win. But as of right now, map number 2 loading up. It's search and destroy.
Rich, if you told me at the beginning of the weekend Next Threat would be on the verge of eliminating Team Envious, I probably would have slapped you in the face. Yeah. If you told me that OpTic Gaming would lose map 1 to Red Reserve in their series, I would have slapped you in the face again. Thankfully, that's not going to happen, but right here we have Red not only in the lead in the series, but now they're facing OpTic Gaming in their weakest game mode, Search and Destroy.
So the first match that I actually got to cast this entire tournament, actually ever for Call of Duty, was Red Reserve. And Zero was able to drop 14 on S&D. But being mildly realistic here, we have said that this is the weakness for OpTic Gaming, as we see Red Reserve get one. That's going to be Josh. He's traded out by Karma. We say that it is the weakness of Red Reserve, but it's, or sorry, of OpTic Gaming, but it's not necessarily the strength of Red Reserve. We've seen shimmers of greatness inside of S&D, but they're overall, throughout the entire tournament, 50-50 on S&D.
What I like that from OpTic Gaming is not a single moment to breathe. Once OG got the number advantage, they made sure every gunfight was a two-man challenge. You saw the trade from Karma to force it down into a 2v1, and there, Crim spots Zero, gets him one shot. Could he have charged forward? Yeah, but he knows Zero's got a sniper. So he'll hold the angle, wait for Karma to push forward, then peeks back out when he knows there's a quick little trade to come on through. They don't even need it, though, as OpTic Gaming goes up 1-0.
Now it is going to be Red Reserve on the offense here as well. Formal trying to find one, isn't going to be able to do it. Smokes come out, that's going to cover that cross. Scump finds the first blood onto Joe, one of the scariest men on this map, and probably inside of Dallas after that last performance. Rated does find Karma. That's going to mean that OpTic Gaming is down a man right now. Big kill coming in. Now this one's going to be a 2v2, Jack.
And this is an example, right, of Championship Sunday Formal. When he's got the sniper in his hands, he doesn't miss shots very often, especially in the biggest of matches. Here, trying to hold this angle, it looks like he's going to elect to take control of the site. Does he peek the corner in time? Yes, he does! 2 versus 1 now. Formal and Crimsix up against Zero. And, well, it's a round win for OpTic Gaming.
Hey, you know, you say that S&D may be OpTic Gaming's weakness, but you can never count this team out on any game mode. They have only dropped 3 maps so far in this tournament. They all were on S&D, but there's a reason that I've only been casting Call of Duty for 1 day and already.
Four now, but hard
four maps, yeah. Quick maths. There is a reason. I've only been casting Call of Duty for 1 day, and my mother is already texting me, when does OpTic play?
It happens
to the best of us.
As now we'll move into round 3. Nade spot here from Formal. His goal is to hit someone rushing through that middle map. Not the case, though, as Zero will be the only player inside Fire. Off the break, Karma still making a play towards this lower dock side. I don't think they're ready for this at all. That's a first blood for Karma. And that's the bottom dock secured for OG. They should be able to plant this bomb right away.
It looks like they are going to be doing it on A, and we've seen a lot of action so far on this map around this A bomb site. Josh, though, finding a big kill here. Throwable going to be invested. How often do we really see this action going down over on A?
You know, it's the more popular site on this map for good reason, right? You get across, get into lower docks. If you're confident in your SMG players, they can lock it down. Major shout out to Crimsix and Karma off the break of this map. We're 3 rounds in and they combined for 10 kills. What I want to do as observer, when we get back into this next round, can we check on Krim and where he currently stands with these streaks? Let everyone know at home exactly where he stacks on up, because he's got to be getting pretty close.
You know, we already saw last time inside of that hard point. He was able to get those streaks very close now. Just needs 25 points to be able to secure them. We will have to pay attention to him. Formal gonna be able to pick up a massive two-piece here inside of round number 4. That means already starting things off, OpTic Gaming have a huge advantage. Initial shot's gonna come out from Josh.
Oh no!
Crim6 streaking out, able to snap with ice in his veins.
I just love that every time someone shoots a body or does something, Karma's the one smiling. He knows he's getting a fired up Crim6 here, back in boots on the ground. We saw Krim go off in map 1, earn some streaks in that game. Even though OG lose, he's kept the momentum here. Can't say the same though for Joe on the side of Red Reserve. I believe he's now 0-4 or 1-4 off the break. Yeah, 0-4 off the break of this game. This is what you want to see if you're an OpTic Gaming fan. You've got Krim with streaks. The man is 7-0.
You know, you catch fire for Joe inside of that hard point. That was massive. They needed to steal a respawn, but you need to at least be consistent inside of the search and destroy. And OpTic looking like a force to be reckoned with inside of it. 4-0. Streak's going to be called in here from Crim6. Calls in that glide bomb. Looks like this time they're going to switch things up. They're going to head over to B.
And their goal here is to try to eliminate this player who's pushed up into the side room, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Karma with first blood. Krim now just 10 points off the mortar strike. OpTic, they've been using smokes all weekend as a tool to try to push up this site. Not sure if I agree with that one, as Karma does get cut down, and that could be the moment of opportunity for the side of Red Reserve to retake this round.
Red Reserve definitely do have a chance here. It is going to be a 2v2. Coming out, we are going to see nice shots coming in from Joe. Big two-piece, going to be able to put the first round on the scoreboard for Red Reserve, finally coming alive in round 5.
He must have heard me. He must have heard me.
I think he did, Jack.
From 0-4 to now 3-4, working on streaks as well, just a couple kills away from that fighter pilot.
Yeah, massive. I mean, what he was able to do in hardpoint, if he's able to do that ever again inside of the series, it's just going to mean Red Reserve pull another one down.
And remember, Rich, you talked about earlier on in the cast how good OpTic Gaming looked in CTF on London Docks. That is map 3 in this best of 5. Red Reserve know that. Joe, my friend, you need to wait for that smoke to land before you try to cross to the site. Formal's already hit marked on you once. I can promise he won't let that happen again.
That is just a feeding frenzy for Formal. He's sitting there waiting for that smoke to dissipate, but if you don't block that cross, you are going to be going down to Formal. Zero going to be able to pick up Crim6 though here. Already seen Crim6 just slaying out inside of this S&D. Joe also 3-5 at this point, not going to get those streaks.
So I think that a round like this, right, is an example of where OpTic Gaming have room for improvement right now in their search and destroy gameplay. Karma pushes up middle, but he doesn't have anybody water stairs to trade the kill that he fights inside of beer. So he takes a one-on-one gunfight, loses that when, you know, they've got A site locked down, they've got Krim pushed up B. They just need to stay alive and kind of wait for Red Reserve to make a move and react to it. And now, instead of it being, you know, 4v3, them waiting for bomb to get planted, it's now Formal all by himself with a sniper pistol.
They're going to be able to get one there, does pull off that kill, but not much you can do being the last one there with a sniper and a pistol. Now Red Reserve going to be able to do it again, starting to claw their way back into this one, but it is definitely going to be a long road, Jack.
And remember, if you don't know this Red Reserve team too well, I mean, 3 of these 4 players, they know what it's like to be on the biggest of stages. Rated, Joe, Josh. They were in the grand finals of a COD Champs just 2 years ago in the Black Ops 3 season, the first season of the CWL, when it was the huge NA versus EU battle there. Yes, they're down 4-0 in this S&D, now it's 4-2. Don't count these guys out.
I think that's a big thing to note as well. I think Zero moving over to this Red Reserve roster made Europe better, period. You have Tommy moving over to Splice. Both of these teams can definitely go the distance. Karma going to be able to get that first blood. Now it looks like this should be a nice kill for Crim6. Going to be able to do that one with the pistol. Only 2 left standing for Red Reserve. But Karma just makes it that much more in favor of OpTic Gaming. Wow. That one was so clean. As I was saying, though, I do think that this roster can definitely go the distance. We've seen them in that championship. We saw them at PSX, and now with the inclusion of Josh as well. And it just looks like it is one of these lineups that we're going to be paying attention to all year long.
It's funny. Right there, Karma finally gets that one-on-one engagement victory inside that middle lane. That time it was in fire. up against Zero, and once that happens, the rest of the round just falls into place for OpTic Gaming. It's the green light for them to begin to make a play towards the site, begin to get that bomb down, and now they're on the verge of tying the series 1-1 with probably arguably the best they've looked in S&D so far this weekend.
I don't think that there's any argument there, but it is clear that they have covered up that hole in their game plan, that they have covered themselves in their weakest spot, looking to close this one out convincingly. See those early shots coming out from Karma. Not going to be able to tag anyone up, though. Is going to be concussed there for a second. Joe takes out Karma. Good play coming in from Joe. We already said this is one of the guys we're going to be paying attention to. Josh able to find one on a Crim 6 Formal, though, once again being an absolute menace. Hanging out in the back with that sniper rifle, looking to do it again. If there aren't smokes to protect you, you will fall.
Scump, a quiet game from him so far, currently 2-4. He challenges forward. The silver lining there, Rated actually team kills. Rated will clean up anyone, so nice job, Red Reserve, staying alive in this game.
The other thing I love about Rated is he will take absolutely any gunfight. He is just such a confident human being, and that echoes out in the game over and over again.
Yeah, and if it doesn't echo out in the game, he'll echo it out on Twitter.
Yeah, definitely
someone
will
that
do it on
likes
Twitter.
to make sure his opinion is heard, even when no one wants to hear it.
I will say, though, sometimes maybe it does err on the side of false, maybe even you would say delusional, with the confidence saying that he's on one of the best teams in the world over and over and over and over again. But sometimes he is just able to back it up, and we'll have to see if he can do it here. It is 5-3. Red Reserve needs to come up huge.
Oh, my goodness. They are right on the other side of these boxes for everybody at home. You know, you've never seen Call of Duty be casted through Codcaster. They don't see that red outline. We do. It helps the viewers, and it also helps when you've got a fighter pilot and S&D as Crim gets first blood. OpTic Gaming now has the sight, and that is the 5th plant for Scump in this game.
Yeah, you don't need X-ray vision when you have those streaks, and you don't need X-ray vision when your shots are this crispy. We're going to see OpTic Gaming even the scales here. It is 1-1 inside of this series. You said that S&D may be their weakness, but Jack, they are looking dominant.
They needed that win right there, Rich. I can't stress it enough. Nice job by OG, looking better at S&D today on Championship Sunday. Either way, though, folks, today is heating up. Losers bracket matches going on. The winners bracket is underway. Don't go anywhere. This is the CWL Dallas Open.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Championship Sunday here at the CWL Dallas Open, presented by PlayStation 4. Of course, the matchup we're currently watching on our main stage, OpTic Gaming, Red Reserve. It was Red Reserve that came out, took game number 1, Revan, but OpTic Gaming bounced back in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, you know, in that Search and Destroy, it takes Red Reserve 7 rounds before they get their first blood of the game. So whenever OpTic Gaming is finding so much success, you know, taking risks early on to get that first blood, it makes it so easy for Scump to get those bombs down. And then obviously Crimsix is playing so well in this series so far.
Yeah, I know you guys both mentioned early on there that, you know, Joe with a slow start, not what you wanted to see. You wanted realistically, Rich, to see him carry on that hot performance from map 1.
Especially inside of the SND. It was the first thing that we said. SND is where we wanted to see them be able to take it. It seems to be OpTic's weakest mode inside a variant, but ultimately now headed into the CTF, I'm quite scared for Red Reserve. They did steal the 1 respawn, but in CTF, OpTic on this map in particular has just been a force.
To that point, so had LG, and then E United gave them their first loss. I mean, we watched LG yesterday with a 9-0 victory, but of course we were asking you guys to join in the conversation using hashtag CWLPS4. Well, here's one of the tweets from you guys. Good luck at Team Caliber and Sharp TK, and of course at Neslo's team, as they're all competing throughout a very rough championship Sunday. Of course, so many games. We worked out it's going to be like 9 matches you're going to have to play today, Jack. That's a lot of Call of Duty.
A lot of Call of Duty, but these guys are up for it. As you saw Scump say, it's essentially a double elimination 2K for him today, and they played 4 of those leading into the event. Endurance is something that they are used to now at this point in Call of Duty World War II.
Absolutely. Of course, I do want to take this time to give some love to our vendors in the stadium. Of course, we have our wonderful Astro Gaming. I know they were still running a 2v2. I'm not sure if it carried through. Revan wouldn't pick me as his teammate, though, so it did make me a little bit sad. Of course, for those of you feeling a little tired to start off Championship Sunday, make your way over to the G Fuel booth. I know you can experiment with some different flavors. You've got all different types of tastes over there. And of course, if you're looking to get yourself a Scuff gaming controller, the store still open. Right now, you can make your purchase over on the far side of the venue. But for now, it's back to our matchup on the main stage. OpTic Gaming, Red Reserve, series tied at 1-1 as we fly down into CTF London Docks.
If you like London Docks, well, today's your lucky day. It's time for our 3rd straight installment of this map. First time around, it went to Red Reserve in a narrow hardpoint victory. Then in S&D, it was OpTic Gaming showing their dominance to tie the series 1-1. Now, Rich, if you had to guess, right at this moment, as Crimsix looks to pull the flag, who takes map 3?
I just really will say, I think OpTic is going to take this CTF. This is what we've seen from them over and over again. As you see the members of OpTic Gaming straight off of respawn, making their way to trying to get this mid-map control. Big kill coming in here for 0, but ultimately there is no way to stop this early flag cap.
It's incredible what you can do with a 7.5-second respawn delay and 4 dead off the break. No hesitation from Crimsix. Runs in, pulls the flag, gets out, and when you've got someone like Formal watching over, you have all the confidence in the world to not have to worry about watching your back. OG strike right off the bat, and they're one of the better teams, Rich, at not only kind of capping early, but holding that lead.
The big thing that I saw from them the last time that we actually watched this CTF2 is they just play like an absolute sprint. They go crazy. They go down that mid over and over and over again. Scump was able to slay out. He was able to streak out twice. And then on top of that, Joe, he always gets these sneaky kills, but it was Scump who just capped over and over again. They were able to get 5, I believe, in the last time I watched him. Scump going to be able to pick up this 2-piece here.
Oh! Scump recognizes the car has yet to be blown up, throws a grenade at it, it blows up to kill Joe, and then challenges a second on the Josh. Holds the 1v2. A moment where you think Red Reserve have the number advantage, they should get a pull, but instead Scump has other plans.
And these kills are going to be really big. Off the respawn, it looks like they should be able to stop the pull, and now it's looking like OpTic Gaming just going to be able to get another free cap here. Just going to run this straight down middle. Don't need to do anything cheeky at all. Going to leave Crimsix behind. Going to leave Scump behind just to make sure. They're going to cross their T's and dot their I's at this moment. That's 2 right now.
My goodness! Scump now on a 6 streak. He's 7-2. OG up 2-0. They're looking for another pull here. Scump gets full streaks. Rich, they're pretty good at London Docks CTF.
That's what I was saying, man. It's absolutely insane. OpTic Gaming being terrifying, trying to get another cap, but it is going to be Josh trying to be sneaky, but it's not going to pay off. Scump hanging on to these streaks, looking like he's going to be able to streak out here again. This is getting bloody. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Already 3 on the board. Red Reserve haven't even been able to touch the flag. There are the streaks. Absolute dominant presence on this map. Already pushed up. Only 2 members here for Red Reserve, and they are going to be cut down. Last one standing is Josh. Flag pulled, there's the kill, there's the glide bomb. Scump, oh my goodness, is this why they call him king?
Oh yeah, he's doubled up now on these streaks. Karma's got full streaks of his own, and we're only 3 minutes into this map. Red Reserve, you gotta start somewhere. You need some sort of map positioning. They have not had peace of mind, Rich, since the first moments, well, not even the first moments of this game, because Krim scored that cap in 35 seconds to take the lead. Look at how good OpTic are at clearing out their flag. They're now pushing up every single lane. Formal still worried about this flank because they know there might be one person they're missing, but I'm sure it was just Joe or one of these guys playing passive. Once they spot him, you're going to see Formal push forward.
Scump is undying, able to pick up another one near mid, gonna pop back out. He sees him, he's able to get that shot nice and easy, looking for the third. He gets it. He's just gonna keep streaking out over and over again, looking to get another pull here. Still 2 up. Scump finally going to be put in his place by Josh. Respawns coming in for Red Reserve. This time it's going to be Karma taking a big one, but Joe is going to cut him down. There is the trade. 1 minute left. 3 for OpTic. This CTF this is textbook of them. They're able to do, and they have so many streaks to work with as well. They can use it defensively, but I expect they're going to be able to pull another.
Formal's ready for this. Oh gosh, Formal waited in the back of OpTic spawn for the last 2 minutes. They wanted to make sure they had everyone accounted for before they put the foot on the gas pedal. They have a 3-cap lead. Yes, they can keep capping, but more than anything, they want to ensure Red Reserve can't pull one of their own. It's Formal by himself, only able to get one. Flag now pulled. OpTic Gaming with a split spawn.
And this time, this is where OpTic Gaming can just use those streaks. The glide bomb going to be able to come in. They're able to just start doing the work on the flag carrier. It's going to be Scump to take down Zero, going to play it patiently before he does return this flag. But the question in my mind right now for you, Jack, did it just take them a little while to wake up here on main stage in that hard point?
Here's the thing, right, is you've now got OpTic Gaming again playing their probably best mode in London Dock CTF. You also add in that when you've got a team with Karma with full streaks, Scump, who's already earned like 5 streaks of his own in this game, he's used only a couple. I mean, you're in a position where you're just never going to lose. I mean, yeah. OpTic I don't see how OpTic Gaming loses this map.
I have to agree with you on the CTF, and another thing to note, the one series that we did see Red Reserve lose inside of pool play, it was against TK, and it was a big choke. And the one thing that we actually did notice, looking at Joe, he just tilted off the face of the earth. We saw how alive he came inside of this hard point. Huge momentum player. And after seeing an OpTic like this, the question is, I'm going to be looking at Joe. He's even right now at 9-9. If he's able to come alive, they will be able to somewhat regain their footing, stay calm, and maybe come back in the hard point, in the SND, if they can take this one the distance. But it looks like OpTic Gaming should be able to run away with this one here. First blood, though, going to be for Joe.
Joe does strike first. OpTic Gaming, though, they're ready to cover that lane. Formal trying to get in a position to shut him down. They know exactly where he is. The man's one shot. He's pulled the flag. Is he expecting Scump to be here? I don't think so. Scump trying to play sneaky. He calls in the fighter pilot. Again, streaks. Anytime Red Reserve have pulled, OpTic have called in a streak to shut down the offensive play.
I mean, use them defensively. You already have 3 to work with. You don't need, you're not going to get style points. Just make sure you ensure forward in Championship Sunday inside of this winner's bracket.
OpTic Gaming and the best teams in CTF, you'll hear in their communication, they're calling out who's alive, who's dead, who are they missing. They're not going to get too hyped after just 1 kill. You've got to stay composed. Let's go to a listen-in with OpTic Gaming.
Fire in low crane. Fire and crane. Nice, guys.
Forwards. Push it down. I'm getting one spawns.
One up. Joe's up. First guy up.
Pushing out water.
Pass up. Oh, I spawned all the way out, guys. Could be right.
They're gonna keep OEing streak, guys.
Yeah, 100%. Just hold my mid. I
have beer. I got your pipe.
I think L1. I think beer steps. I'm looking L2. He's at our base. L2 rated.
They're just camping and playing sneaks. They're camping and playing sneaks.
Yep. We can play aggressive here. Let's play aggressive.
Zero's camping.
L1. Josh, go back to flag. L1 to flag right now. Josh.
This guy's literally just holding it. He's seen him, man.
Nice.
Go, baby.
One more poly in.
Beer stairs going water. One in beer, one beer stairs.
I spawned close to flag. I spawned bus. Go ahead. I'm looking. Right, mid. Watch out mid. Watch out from fire. Did he go in? Ladder, guys. Ladder, one shot. I need help.
Come to help you.
Oh, on fire.
Crane rated, weak.
Ladder, going in fire. One in fire. Yeah, fire got me. Crane hardening you. Nice. I don't think I can get him. Yeah, go ahead.
2 in bar.
Flag the bar.
Fire. I mean, in fire. Nice, he killed him. In fire. That guy fire has to go back. Nice too.
He's gonna be on their flag.
Where's the flag down at?
Front bar.
In beer, one shot. Beer, one shot. He missed it.
Joking.
Okay, there's one with him as well. There was one with him.
Guys, don't turtle. Don't turtle. I'm pushing out. I'm pushing out. Yeah. Do you have fire? Yo, in bar. Say what you're doing, Damien.
I'm looking at one pipes and two on their flag.
Yo, mid statue right now. Statue, one shot. He's back train, Joe, one shot. Back train, Joe, one shot. Pushing up. One's gonna be in fire.
He's statue.
That's closest guy. They're both there. Water and statue. Okay.
Get down water.
Fucking stun him. He's in fire. One's low danger in fire.
I have low danger. I'm stunning fire. Go stun me. I'm one shot though. I'm one shot. Stun and fire. Seth, you can push that out. Seth, you can push it out.
Might jump ladder on Ian.
You probably want to push that.
I got him in fire. One more fire. Josh. He's pushing for flag. One for point.
Push the crane.
He went low. Low stun.
He's on the ladder.
He's slow, guys.
He's ladder, guys.
Two there.
Another one. I didn't hit him.
One shot range. Grab him.
I can plane too.
Hang on, Seth, might be able to kill. Yeah, plane. Kill him. Nice, good job. Nice, Seth. Middle. I'll try to watch mid. Hang on. One's gate for some reason. Are you streaking?
I am.
I got him again.
Nice, good job. Mid-map, right above you. Coming.
He's
Let's go. Bar. Right side bar. Looking bar.
Alright, now hold everything. What do we have?
Push up. Bar just rolled. He ran away.
L1.
I'll look at one. I'll watch water. I have water.
I got L2, Seth. I got the right side.
Watch your low left. Back train. One shot. One in bar. Back train. Push water.
Bar weak zero. He's gonna push.
Bar weak zero. One's pipes on Damon. On the last bar.
He's strapped.
On the side. Right side corner. Keep pushing, guys. Keep pushing. Camping.
You got me.
Where?
Okay, 2 OE in pipes.
Just I'm getting your water.
Hold the fuck out of fire. 2 OE in.
I'm laying in fire.
Beat him.
Nice one.
Nice, good one.
Steering middle.
Small water.
I fire.
Go back.
I'm
just hold fire.
I'm holding fire. You gotta get
two here. There's two here at least.
I got you, Seth.
Watch out for fire, Seth.
I got the back, Seth.
Two here at least, guys.
I got you.
Fire last guy, Josh. Nice.
Let's go that spawn.
Last guy zero.
He's off spawn. I'm pushing boat. You see pipes here?
I don't know.
Words you're hearing a lot there. Hold this, watch this, pick up this. They want to make sure every lane is covered. Full knowledge of where the opponents are as now Karma's brought out the flamethrower to really add insult to injury to close out this map. A few team stuns here and there, but either way, this will be the dagger in the heart of Red Reserve for CTF. OpTic Gaming have turned things around here on the main stage to go up 2-1.
Yeah, you really do have to give it up for Red Reserve in those later portions of the game, starting to find some opportunities, but that balancing act coming in from OpTic Gaming, knowing what to hold, knowing when to push.
What a performance from Scump there, 27-14, near double positive. OpTic Gaming now in control.
2-1 advantage over Red Reserve. Green Wall started slow, but looking to finish strong. I mean, Revan, that was just a masterclass. I mean, we even got to hearing the listen in there. OpTic just cool, calm, and composed.
Yeah, I love their communication. It's almost like you could just close your eyes and picture everything that's going on the map. They're calling out everything. They know who's watching what. They know what angles are open, and they have great reads on what Red Reserve is doing. It's a near-perfect CTF game from OpTic.
What I even love it the most there was they were originally expecting multiple people to push through fire on that moment where they went 4 dead with like a minute left. Formal spots 2 grenades, fly over the wall, calls out that it's actually 2 overextending for their back spawn. They then adjust. Instead of keeping multiple in fire, they have 2 watch their back. They get the 2-piece, they then pick up fire, and they really just shut the map down there.
Yeah, really smart plays. Coming out from OpTic Gaming, of course, so many more games going on here at the CWL Dallas Open presented by PlayStation 4. I want to take a look at our Delta station because last time we tuned in, next threat was 2-0 up. Guess what, boys? We got a game 5 on our hands. Doug Sensor Martin, no stranger to those game 5s. But here's where it's get interesting, okay? FaZe versus Unilad, FaZe 3-0'd. So I'm about 99% sure from looking on social media, seeing a couple of players tweeting, that if Next Threat win this, it's Next Threat versus FaZe.
No.
You would get to see Doug Sensor Martin versus the FaZe clan.
What has to happen there?
Just as simple as the Next Threat win.
Oh my.
No,
I mean, what happened? Does FaZe let Doug knock them out?
I don't think they're going to let...
Does he get a call from Temper and says, bro, you want to stay on the YouTube team, boy, you know what to do. Sensor's team killing off the map.
Oh, you never know.
My goodness.
Well, as it stands, of course, it is Team Envious that are 1-0 up in this one. Of course, they will be the blue squad here. And as it stands, Nagafin already down in this round. Elsewhere in the tournament, of course, Splice, they were 2-0 up. And it looks good for them to close out their matchup against Ground Zero, a 3-1 search and destroy. So that will be a victory for Splice. Of course, for Ground Zero, they're not out of the tournament just yet, but they will fall into the loser's bracket.
All right, so let's see if Ground Zero could keep it rolling. You know, I do have some pretty high hopes for that team. I hope that it's really the case with that team. You just need to find a way to steal one respawn. You figure that team's just so good in the search and destroy game mode that just find a way to win a respawn, force that game 5, and should be smooth sailing for them. Absolutely.
Of course, we will keep you updated with how that game 5 goes. Envious versus Next Red. Of course, that a loser's bracket matchup. Lose and you go home. But for now, it's time to send it back over to our main stage matchup. OpTic Gaming versus Red Reserve, and it's the Green Wall with a 2-1 lead.
Rich, are we going to a game 5?
You know, if we see in this hard point the way that Red Reserve came out, very well, we could go to a game 5, but OpTic has caught fire inside of this series. The CTF was impressive, and at the beginning, we're going to see Scump and Formal be able to ensure what? So, just like this, OpTic Gaming going off, getting statue control.
That is not an engagement Karma should win, but you know what? The 3 times Call of Duty World Champion does just that. OG off the break, get early time, but remember, they've got to push through and worry about spawns. That's exactly what Scump's trying to do here. They force one player to spawn out. This is a best case scenario for OpTic Gaming off the break.
Yeah, they do lose a few vital seconds here, but that spawn absolutely massive, and you can see just how long it takes to run back. All of a sudden, though, Karma gonna get a pretty far spawn, as well as Crim 6, trying to get back over for the scrap time, but getting this early rotation should work in their favor.
Yeah, and right now, this is where all the focus is. These next few engagements, super key. You know, this bar and hardpoint 1, you can definitely lock down. That gunfight win there for Zero might just secure it now for Red Reserve. They've got Karma on the side of OpTic Gaming pushed up, who's looking to play spoiler, as OG are currently down by 10.
And Red Reserve coming in very huge here, able to pick up some big kills. It was Joe last time to do it for his team. Already 4 and 2, starting to streak out. He's got 3, doing the typical Joe sneaky play. We are going to see he gets tagged up there, waiting for someone to walk into his crosshair, but they cut him down. He's not going to be able to get those streaks. Those kills will do a lot of work for OpTic Gaming.
Flawless.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful, and now they're starting to get some seconds here in line.
And that's a setup play from OpTic Gaming. They send 2 through that middle lane, 1 through that white barn, and 1 player who's pinching from the middle street. Red Reserve were not ready for that at all. Formal was ready to engage the final AR player in the back of the map, and now Scump's already here at the new hill. What was looking like it was going to be grim for OG off the break with maybe a 1-minute lead for Red Reserve, instead should be the opportunity now for OpTic to get the scrap time and potentially the full 60, one of the toughest things to do on St. Marie Hardpoint.
They absolutely find their footing here. Just look at their map control. Like you say, they do find that scrap time. Finally, Josh able to take Karma out, but they are all over this hill. And this one, too, very easily can turn into a money hill, especially with a setup like this. And you can see Red Reserve struggling to break it. 3 players now, all 4 of them just clustered up.
I mean, I've watched a lot of St. Marie Hardpoint so far this weekend. This is one of the first times I've seen a team successfully do this. They're recognizing the pressure, and when you've got an FG42 in the hands of every single player like OpTic Gaming have right now, good luck winning a gunfight off sprint.
Scump, too, already with 5. He's 8 and 5 at this point.
Oh my!
Not far behind. Karma, though, going to come in with the crispiest gunfight, shooting absolute lasers, looking now to take 2, and he's going to do it, running away with this one. Scump with the streaks to work with as well, getting absolutely every second, gobbling it up there on parking lot, getting ready to rotate to our next hill.
Wow, already a 1-minute lead now for OG. This is a hard point that, yes, you can retake from it. It helps a lot.
Goodness.
When you've got streaks from Scump, the fighter pilot comes on through, relieves some pressure, and now look at the green arrows. They're pushing on in towards Red Reserve in any angle. Crim now with 2 streaks. OpTic Gaming up by 70. They are dominating this game 4.
This is, but you know, I said I expected the CTF to be dominant. This hard point is absolutely insane. Crim 6 will be able to pick up the entire Red Reserve team with his streaks, and there are more in this glide bomb poised to take out another. And you know what? They don't even need it. They're just going to be able to take him out with sheer gun skill here.
OpTic Gaming, look at the streaks in the top right. They're now outslaying by 22 kills in this game. They're up by almost 100 seconds. And I can hear the crowd getting louder and louder behind them here in the venue. It's 138 to 45. A little bit different, Rich, than the first hard point of this series.
At this point, it's just shooting practice for OpTic Gaming. They are on an absolute tear. Red Reserve, I mean, we do see they're picking up some time here, finally getting above that 50-second mark, but holding this is going to be a tough order with the amount of streaks that OpTic Gaming does have. Some big kills coming in here finally for Red Reserve, but OpTic Gaming get the break still. What can Red Reserve even do here, Jack?
It starts with first making sure OpTic have no streaks left, which I think they might have maybe one left to use. Crim used both. I believe that actually might be it now, though, since Crim had the last couple. But either way, no streaks left for OpTic. They've got to begin to fight for some of this middle hill, but they need the spawns at this new hard point. And unlike last time, Rich, they cannot let OpTic Gaming break and get over 30 seconds on this barn hill.
I think that really was the story as well. The break comes in, then the positive spawns. They're able to get to the next hill and secure all those seconds.
Here in the sky camera, we see the fight for these spawns on the back of the map. OpTic send 3.
Crush.
3 is greater than 2, and Red Reserve are wiped on out. Look at that left side of the map. Now they've got to flood on forward, fight some awkward gunfights as OpTic Gaming set up for a break.
Taking a peek at Scump as he gets over to this hard point. Gonna win his gunfight, and it is all OpTic Gaming in your kill feed. Josh finally able to get one, but Karma going to be cutting down people left and right. Scump currently on 3. Take a... Crim 6 finds 2. Scump isn't going to be able to streak out.
Scump was just double positive alongside Formal. Either way, they're both streaking on out. Crim 6, 20 and 8. This man already leading the time in the game. Inside the hard point, 1 minute and 25 seconds. And Karma matching those stats as well. OpTic Gaming not only looking to take this series, but they're wanting to make it a statement, showing that, you know what, map 1 isn't how we're going to play today on Championship Sunday.
You know, if you were an OpTic Gaming fan, definitely had to take a deep breath after that first hard point, but right now you are most likely screaming in your seats because OpTic Gaming close to closing this one out. They can do it on parking lot, but we will see Red Reserve gets there first if they are able to hold. We saw how well OpTic Gaming managed to hold this hill, so if Red Reserve can do that, maybe they start to inch back into this one, but Crim 6 going to make it impossible. Here comes the streaks. This is brutal. OpTic Gaming looking to get inside of this hill and run away with this series in this championship bracket. Hello, Dallas.
Crim 6 is a man on a mission, was just triple positive with 90+ seconds in the hard point. It's his highlight show right now. I think if you're OpTic, yeah, you can't win off this hill, so what do? You go and set up now for that bottom field hill. You go ahead and wait to use this fighter pilot. If you remember from earlier on in the map, as he reads the push from Joe like a book, Crim used this fighter pilot to kill all 4 players of Red Reserve. I'm not sure if any are even using Mountain, so they're all going to show up. There is no areas of cover. OpTic Gaming should close out the map here.
You definitely get over to that hill early and you start talking amongst yourselves about who is going to make it into that MLG top 5, trying to close out on a lookout post. Just need 20 more seconds in the hill. Joe going to be somewhat disruptive, but Formal going to put him in his place as they skate on
Fighter pilot. Here it comes. They want to end the map right here, right now. Look at Red. They've got to hide inside the barn. OpTic Gaming now in the hill. Pushing up towards 242 is their current score. Formal trying to supplement this hard point in the 2-piece from Karma. One final push from Raiden, folks. Red Reserve have dropped the controllers. GG OpTic Gaming as they win the series 3-1, and Formal lets them know.
OpTic Gaming looking fantastic here on Championship Sunday. It started off a little bit of a blemish there, but it doesn't matter. They managed to win 3 maps back-to-back, and Revan, that was a serious statement now to every other team here left in the tournament.
Jeez, man, that game spiraled out of control quick for Red. I mean, Crim 6 went on roll early on. The streaks carried them through that game, but OpTic